Hi, my name is Gianna and I am a master's student at Carnegie Mellon University, where I study engineering and public policy. I currently assist with a research project on color mapping respiratory illnesses, which aims to create a series of maps with different color scales that show how respiratory diseases are spread, and then ask a number of survey participants how essentially they're feeling about the maps that they're looking at. Really, what we're trying to measure is willingness to engage in risky behavior and how participants rank the level of risks associated with different hypotheticals on traveling from an area that might have very low numbers to an area that has very high number of whatever respiratory illness, or vice versa. Do they feel a bit more comfortable if they're traveling from somewhere that has very high levels of COVID or flu to somewhere that doesn't? Next up, I'd like to show you where I work. This project is largely behavioral science based. We're doing a lot of map making, a lot of survey making. All of it can be done remotely. And so this is where I work. As you can see, this table right here, my little desk, my coffee. This is in fact my kitchen, but it's not just my kitchen. It is also my lab space. I take all my research meetings from here. I do all of my article reading and map making from this chair right here. That you've seen where I work, I'd like to show you how I work. My main role in this project, and part of why I was recruited to it, is because of my experience with GIS. GIS stands for Graphic Information Systems, and when someone says GIS, they're referring to a computer system that is able to analyze and display geographically related information. And I can show you what that looks like. So really quickly, I'm going to go over how exactly I'm making these maps. We start with a data set, usually one that's publicly available, like this one, on COVID data. This project has since shifted away from COVID specifically to different respiratory diseases, but that is all the work I have so far. It's been focused on COVID. So I break down the data into something that's a bit more comprehensible, like this, and we're really just focusing on the COVID values per day. This is on a weekly scale, and the region ID, which has a corresponding FIPS code, which isn't super important for you or me, but for ArcGIS, the software I'm using allows it to convert it into a map. So this is what we have in terms of heat mapping. The project has since shifted away from this form of map just because it's not super intuitive, and we want to make information as clearly conveyed as possible. So we shifted to Data Wrapper, which is also a GIS software and is a bit more novice friendly if you're looking to get into GIS. And we've really just been tweaking different factors. So this is a brown, I think a gray blue scale, and changing the colors for illness maps or maps that show any sort of disease. This yellow red is a bit more common. Tweaking different things like the scale, continuous versus non-continuous, and ease of like differentiating high and low level risk. And once we finalize one, we will put that map into the survey, and then we will highlight different sections of the map for survey participants to answer hypothetical questions like, if you're traveling from a high-risk area to a low-risk area, what factors are you considering, and vice versa, low risk to high risk, to really sort of tease out people's risk perception and their willingness to engage in risks, and figure out if people are even considering this a risk. Maybe people are really comfortable traveling regardless of the level of disease, and hopefully we'll find out once we have more data. In terms of research and results, this project doesn't have any yet. We are still in the early phases of this project. We have just gotten IRB approval about a month ago, IRB being the Institutional Review Board, which makes sure that all human-based research is being done ethically. So we don't have anyone who's actually taken the survey yet. We haven't even really finished it. There's still a few tweaks that we're making. But once we get that done, we will administer the survey via Qualtrics. And then once we have our results, we will do data analysis, we will write a paper, hopefully publish it, and have results that people can use and are interesting, hopefully.